Level Lock is the first invisible smart lock, and it works with Apple's HomeKit. Welcome everyone, it is Andrew here from AppleInsider, and there are a lot of smart locks on the market. The biggest one is probably August, and while the latest generation August is smaller, all these retrofit smart locks that add onto the inside of your door usually add some sort of big, bulky control. They're not exactly intuitive. Some people may not know that you're supposed to twist this to lock and unlock the deadbolt, and they don't allow you to use the same fixtures or lock hardware. But enter Level Lock. Level Lock is really just an invisible smart lock. It lives inside of your door where you don't see it. No one even knows that you have a smart lock there. And while it does have one minor downside that we'll get to in a bit, this is overwhelmingly a fantastic little device to add to your home. We love being able to add smart controls that feel human and give you options and allow anyone to control them whether or not they know or have the ability to control it from their phone or through Siri. This has all the smarts you'd come to expect, but it's completely out of the way and lets you keep all of your existing hardware. So it comes in a few different parts, including the motor, the bolt, a few different adapters, some screws, and the strike plate. Starting off with the motor. Everything here feels very solid, very strong, all steel. You can see how good this thing looks and how compact it is. These are the pogo pins that'll connect to the bolt, which is how it gets battery life, because the battery does hide within the bolt, and we'll look at that in just a moment. But looking here again on the motor, as we turn things around, it's very simple. It'll work either way in your door. You'll connect the bolt and screw it into place. There are a few different numbers here on the bottom, including the HomeKit pairing code. There's no scanning code here. You do have to scan the one in the instructions or enter it manually, but once this is in your door, you're not exactly going to scan the bottom of it anyway, so just scanning the one in the manual is just as easy. Looking at the bolt is very strong. Now the motor and the bolt have been tested to 1 million actuations. The whole thing just feels so sturdy and strong. You can see how thick the steel is on the walls of that housing and even the battery compartment itself, which acts as the bolt. Everything feels very slick. Even the bolt here is magnetic, so when it pops out and goes back in, it's pulled right into place and stays flush. It flows very fluidly. It's absolutely brilliant. As I said, the battery housing is here inside the bolt. It unscrews, it has that O-ring there for water resistance to make sure no water kind of would slip in there, and then the battery's in there. It's very easy to do, and it is very strong. It does use a CR2 battery. One is included in the box, a Duracell lithium version. This is great. Level says you should get over a year from a single CR2 battery. Then of course we have the strike plate, which is installed on the door frame. Speaking of installation, let's go ahead and move to our front door and get this guy installed. As you can see, we've removed our existing door lock here. We'll set that aside for the moment, and we're going to slide our invisible lock into place. You have the top designation on the top there. We have that lined up, and then we simply screwed it into our door. All set, good to go with step 1. Then we need to insert our motor here into the bolt. It's going to line up perfectly and slide right into place. Those pins are going to connect there, bringing battery life to the motor. We're then going to screw down the inside and then insert our adapter, which is going to match whichever lock that we have installed in our home. It's very easy to do, and you'll be able to see quickly which one lines up with the actual pin inside of your door. As another magnetic component, as you slide this thing into place, it's going to immediately just kind of jump back in there and hold. So that means it's not going to move around or slide once you have it installed. Go ahead and insert the inside of your door there and put your bolt back into place. You've now installed the level lock while keeping your existing lock hardware. That means it is perfect for anyone, whether you're a homeowner and you just love your hardware there, you have a really expensive one that doesn't work with HomeKit, or you have an apartment or you rent and you don't want to replace anything on the outside. You don't want it to look like you have a smart lock in any way, and that's exactly what the level lock is. Finally, once it's installed, we have to insert our battery life and pair everything with the Home app and the Level Home app. We're going to insert our battery with the plus side in and screw it into place. Once everything is screwed in, we're going to go ahead and open up the Level app, where it's going to discover our lock over Bluetooth. Level will allow you to name your lock, add a location, everything you need to do when setting up a smart door lock for the first time. As we mentioned, this is a Bluetooth lock. There is no Wi-Fi here. If you do want to use Wi-Fi or remote functionality, you need to make sure you have a home hub around your house. that constitutes a HomePod, an Apple TV, or even an iPad that you've designated as such that works specifically with HomeKit to add secure remote functionality. With that remote functionality, you can control the lock from afar, run automations as you come or go, and of course get notifications and see the status on whether it's locked or unlocked. There we go, we've set it up here in the Level Home app, as well as over inside of HomeKit. We're going to first look at the Level Home app before going over to HomeKit. From the home screen, you can simply hold on that little icon there to lock or unlock the door. If you tap on the gear, you can get into settings. We can change the name, turn on auto lock after 30 seconds or 2 minutes, change the sound louder or quieter, and calibrate it once you've installed. You can also see the battery life, the firmware, and your serial number. Currently, some of those are kind of MIA since we're in the studio and not next to the lock. You can also share it, adding people from your contacts or by phone number, and send out temporary passes so they can unlock your door using the Level Home app on their phone. Of course, anyone added inside of HomeKit will also have access to this lock and be able to control it through their phones or through Siri. The Level app, though, is a bit bare bones. The best functionality comes via HomeKit. Not only can you control it through the Home app, but through Siri and much more. Going into settings for the lock, you can go ahead and change the name, as well as change the icon, a lock or a door lock there, choose the room that it's in, and include in favorites for easy access. Turn on status and notifications, so whenever that lock is locked, either certain times of day or when certain people aren't home. This in particular is a really useful feature. We set ours to notify us anytime no one is supposed to be home. That way, if someone would unlock the door or unlock it, say they tried to pick the lock or something, then boom, you get a notification right on your phone. You can jump in, check your security cameras, whatever it is that you have going on, just to be sure nothing funky is happening. Back in the Home app, you can see suggested scenes. A few of the obvious ones are good night, which is what we use. So at nighttime, we have our blinds closed, our door locks, all the lights turn off, our TV turns off, all of that great scene that a lot of people use. Then you have other scenes based on location, like when you come or go. Of course, feel free to create your own automations based on button presses, switches, motion, anything that you'd like. With all of your other accessories, there are a ton of options. Do it based off of NFC, tap your phone on the door locks, or check the status. I really like to have it lock and unlock when you come and go. So when the first person arrives home, it'll go ahead and automatically unlock the door. And then when the last person leaves, it'll lock it behind you. That's a really great one to run, and you can get notified that it's actually happening and the door was successfully locked or unlocked. Not to mention, HomeKit brings support for Siri, so whether you're on your watch, your HomePod, your Apple TV, your iPhone, your Mac, you can control those accessories. So I can just ask my lock here or my watch to lock the level lock or lock the front door, and it's able to do just that. Really, the only downside with the level lock is there's no Wi-Fi support. But if you have a home hub within reach, your Apple TV, your iPad that you have designated as a home hub, or even your HomePod, that is all you need. You don't need to have Wi-Fi. Level Lock has worked perfectly for us. It was easy to install. We kept our existing keys and hardware. There's no bulbous stuff anywhere, and people know how to use it. It just looks and acts just like a deadbolt, and it is just as secure. If you want to grab one for yourself, find the link down below in the description. Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow AppleInsider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the AppleInsider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.